horse's mouth. Our Neil Young News Report.
Smell the horse on this one.
With this week's update from thrasherswheat.org, here's Thrasher.
Hey, Thrasher here with this week's Neil Young news, and boy, do we have lots and lots of fresh wheat this week. Quite unexpectedly, we've been saying over the past few weeks that things quiet down towards the end of the year, and as always, the ever so unpredictable Neil Young continues to amaze and surprise us. So, we know that the Cellar Door CD is going to be coming out next week. That's going to be released, so we've been talking about that, but as soon as that comes out, we hear word that there is another new album that has been recorded and will be released at some point, presumably in 2014. The information on this is that this is an album of covers that was recorded in Nashville earlier this summer at Jack White's Third Man label in Nashville. Neil Young was there to celebrate Willie Nelson's 80th birthday, and apparently while he was there he managed to record an entire album. So we don't know too much more about it, other than it seems as if a number of the tunes on this upcoming album were previewed at Farm Aid. I think folks know that we talked quite a bit about the Phil Oakes cover of Changes, so that probably will be on the album, and then I think there's been some other speculation about some of the other covers by Bob Dylan, Gordon Lightfoot, Hank Williams, Burt Jansch, Tim Hardin, Ivory Joe Hunter. So a lot of the, if you will, founding folk singers from back in the day. So this naturally will be quite anticipated. We're excited about it. Scott Sandy over at the Neil Young Appreciation Society had reported on this, and apparently there is more information to come. Apparently some of the song selections will be quite surprising. So this would be the second covers album that Neil Young will have released, and we'll just have to see how that all goes. But stay tuned, as we like to say. But in the even bigger news department, if there could be bigger news, it does seem as if Crazy Horse is going to ride again. They will reunite again next summer in Europe. It looks as if they are in the process of rescheduling those shows that were canceled when Pancho broke his hand. So this, again, is huge good news. Only a few dates in Germany apparently have been announced. We would think that a more full tour schedule will be announced in the coming days, weeks. Not sure on the timing of that, but tickets apparently are going on sale next Tuesday for at least one of the shows. So we think that this is just Neil Young's way of saying happy holidays to everyone, giving a lot of hope. Certainly we're pleased by all this. There had been, a lot of or some, shall we say, speculation, rumors that there had been another one of these rifts between Pancho and Neil. This sort of discussion has been going on really for years and years and years, probably ever since Pancho joined the band, 30, 40 years ago, or whatever, however long it's been. But when we would encounter some of these rumors about there being, some bad blood, if you will, between Neil and Pancho, we were never really buying into it, particularly over the past summer. If you were there very close to the stage and you watch Pancho and Neil interact, particularly like during the song Fucking Up, it was either the most convincing, totally on-stage act of two people loving one another and playing together, or something, but it just always seemed there's genuine love between Neil and Pancho. So wherever that Bad Blood stuff was coming. Who knows? But we're thrilled. We're about the news, and we'll just have to see how this all plays out. So anyway, I guess just sort of wrapping up here, the last thing is, as everyone knows, the Nelson Mandela from South Africa passed away this week. World tributes have been flooding the globe, and the well-deserved tributes and accolades have been ongoing, and Neil Young, of course, has a small part in all of this. Neil Young was at the Nelson Mandela concert in 1994 in Johannesburg, South Africa, and he performed an amazing Rocking in the Free World on acoustic before 100,000 people or so. We'll post the YouTube of that on Thrashers Wheat here when we get a chance to catch up on things. But one of the things when you do watch this, or if you remember it, that was quite remarkable and amusing and fun, and as always a Neil Young trait. The concert, of course, was globally broadcast, and there were lots of cameras on the stage and down in the pit, and bringing the video in. And we think that, as most folks know, Neil sometimes has a little aversion to cameras, if you will, and they really seem to have gotten on his nerves during this performance. And if you watch the video very carefully, you'll notice that whenever a camera cuts to a shot of Neil, he immediately turns in an opposite direction, and it's almost like the camera folks are chasing Neil about the stage. He goes up levels and down levels. It's like wherever the cameras are, he is moving in the opposite direction. So to watch the editing or how they were trying to cut it live there is beyond amusing. And of course, Neil is just he's full of the power of the rock and roll and the audience, and watching it. Here it is 20 years later. Johannesburg, South Africa, and they announced that Neil Young comes on stage, and the crowd just goes berserk. And you're thinking, wow, down in South Africa, Neil Young, man, he pumps them up. Anyway, it was a great day, and certainly Nelson Mandela is a legend who will go down in history forever and ever, and just an amazing man, an amazing story. If you're not tuned into his life story, we by all means would say check that out. We really don't see probably anyone else. There's a small cast of characters that we think that that song "Rockin' in the Free World" embodies more than the Nelson Mandela and what his message was all about. So, concluding here, we'll just give a little shout out. Just like to give a little shout out here to one of our listener readers, Soldier Steve up in New York. Soldier Steve helps us out by tracking our weekly playlist here on Thrashers Wheat Radio. So we really appreciate that, Steve. And we posted Soldier Steve's Neil Young story on the blog on Thrashers Wheat. An amazing lifelong journey of listening to Neil Young. Soldier Steve saw his first Neil Young concert when he was 12, so we can certainly relate to that early exposure to Neil Young, and once that Neil Young musical magic hits you at that young age, young impressionable age, it has a real tendency to kind of stick with you. Not that we know anyone that's ever happened to. So we'll just turn it back over to Tony and Eric back in the studio. You guys just keep on rocking in the free world, as Nelson Mandela would certainly say.